watching the art behind the headshot. I'm excited to show you all my tricks of the trade that I've learned over the past 10 years. And this thing is in depth, it's long, there's a lot of information. And we have gone through, we shot 3 days, compiled everything, showed it to some test groups, and they wanted more information. So we came back in, we did 2 days more. So it's 4 hours approximately of information, and I want you to go through this step by step to see everything before you have any questions. When you get through the end, watch it again because you'll see something different. But I basically wanted to give you everything that I knew up here about how to take a good headshot, how to get a human being in front of your camera and take a good picture of them and promote your own business through doing so. So the more you watch this, the more little tips you'll pick up and the more you'll be able to incorporate it into your photography and make some money. What I found is that every human being gets in front of the camera and conveys something different right off the bat. You are gonna coach your people into something that becomes interesting. Why do you think celebrities look interesting in front of cameras? Generally they look really great. I believe it's because a photographer coached them into it, or they know from photographers coaching them how to work a camera, right? Well, we're gonna teach you how to get your people to work the camera so that your pictures look better. My career was developed and grew because I made people look interesting. No matter how stiff or uncomfortable or robotic they were in front of the camera, my job became to pull it out of them. So at the beginning of my sessions, I get people in there and I take a shot and I look at where I'm starting from. And I've got my light, I got my camera, I take a shot, I didn't direct them yet, and they look fairly blank and out to lunch. Then I start my coaching. I start directing them, I start looking at their angles, I start to bring the juices into the shot by coaching them and bringing things out. And that's when I get a shot like this. And that's where you're really gonna see the difference in your work. So you're a professional photographer, and I think a lot of professional photographers overlook this step. This is for your career. You need to know how what the human face is conveying to your camera, no matter who your client is, and what they're saying, and how to get them to say one thing instead of another. Confidence to fear. I always call it confidence with approachability. That's where I start the basis of all my work. What I want you to understand is that this isn't just for actors, and it isn't just for headshots. It's for whenever somebody's in front of your camera. You could be shooting a wedding, you could be shooting a group shot of a family, you could be shooting kids, you could be shooting a CEO, you could be shooting somebody for their Facebook profile, I don't care. When somebody's in front of your camera, you're gonna have tools to convey things to them to make sure that there's some life between you and the camera. And that's really what my work has been all about, and that's what I really want you to get out of this DVD. I want you guys to create images that are more interesting than you could have ever gotten before, and a lot of photographers don't know this information. When it becomes about speaking to your client, it's really where the difference is between mediocre pictures and pictures that make people feel something. And the feeling is what we're going for. We're humans, we feel a lot. And if you feel something out of an image, or you change somebody's life one day because they feel better about themselves in front of the camera, it's pretty rewarding. When I first picked up a camera, I didn't know I was gonna be a headshot photographer. I had no idea. I was just looking for a viable business to make a buck, so that I was doing acting and modeling at the time. I didn't want to be in the bar anymore, so I picked up a camera to make some money. I didn't know that it was going to be the love of my life. Headshots became the staple that created the lifestyle that I have, and it's given me a lot. So the main thing that I always said to myself is that I was going to give back as much as I could. And I found that in headshot photography, it's really competitive, and I found myself not wanting to share information and trying to be doing my own thing. And I just came to the realization just this year, after doing it for about 8 years, that I have something that is worth sharing, and I'm not afraid to share it anymore. And I want you guys to go out there and take the best frickin' pictures you can. Why am I successful? I'm successful because I had a vision for what I wanted to do. I saw an opportunity. I saw a niche in the market that I thought could be tapped into. And what that was a gap between celebrity advertising portrait photographers and headshot photographers. I thought headshot photographers generally did things on a flat level that weren't intriguing, and advertising and celebrity portrait photographers did things in a very interesting way. I thought if I could do that interesting thing with headshots, I would be successful. I didn't know how I was going to do it. I didn't know what I was going to do, but I knew that it was there. And then when I tapped into it, people saw it, and then I kept plugging away at it, and I run my business similar to the way I ran my Olympic campaign when I was sailing. I come from a really competitive background, and I compete with myself. I never competed with anybody else. So I'm very competitive with myself, and I work very hard at what I do, and everything down to a T has to be done in a specific way to be the best. And you know, I didn't know how I was going to do it at the beginning, but you know, the success that I've had has been great, and it's been because of the work I believe I put into it. The biggest mistake that a headshot photographer makes doing headshots is thinking it's about the photography. It's not about the photography. It's about your relationship with your client. And it's about your client's vibe into the camera and what they're giving the camera, so that an onlooker can be intrigued by them and feel life out of them. And that's the biggest mistake headshot photographers make. And that's what I want you to learn out of this DVD. And that's what I want you to go find for each person that's in front of your camera, as I have to find for each person that comes into my studio every single day of the year. I'll tell you about when I started. When I started, I was modeling, and I had a photographer tell me to pick up a camera. And I had a friend who was a photographer who had shot me modeling. And I was in Madrid, actually, at the time. And I went to a camera store and bought a camera, and I left Madrid like the next week. So I was with a photographer who helped me buy the camera, but the next week I went to Barcelona because my wife and I were traveling around Europe modeling and you know, seeing some of her family and stuff like that. So we're in Barcelona, and I started shooting, and I couldn't figure out how to sync the flash to the I bought a flash with it, an on-camera flash. I couldn't figure out how to do I couldn't figure out how to make anything work when I was shooting at night. I was like, I'm only shooting during the day. That's it. I'm just gonna shoot when the sun's out, and that's what I'm gonna do until I figure all this out. So I shot natural light for a really long time, and I bought a darkroom before I bought my first lights. I came back to the States, I bought a darkroom, I set it up in my mom's basement, and I would shoot all week as things started to crank out. I would shoot all week in the city, drive to my mom, spend the weekend in the darkroom. So I shot natural light for a really long time, and I think, like I've said it before, there's no better light than the sun, and the sun is free. So go use it. Go crazy, go nuts, learn how to bend and shape it with reflectors or whatever other items that you can use to use it. Obviously, I live in New York, and right now it's the middle of winter. I would not want to be shooting a headshot outside. There are photographers that do it. I don't know how they do it or how their clients are comfortable while doing it, but I wouldn't do it. But some photographers need to do that because they don't have a studio or they don't shoot with lights. Get a southern facing window. This is what I did. I moved back to New York with my girlfriend at the time, who is now my wife, and I lived in my brother's apartment, and he had like a 10 by 12 foot living room, and I bought my first set of lights there, and I started shooting. But I knew I wanted natural light. He didn't really have good light into the apartment. So after about 6 months, I was kind of broke. Modeling wasn't going real well. My photography business hadn't done anything. I was just charging like 30 bucks a roll of film. My brother's like, look, you got to get out of here. You're like, you know, I can't just hang out with him. So my girlfriend and I at the time looked around, and I was like, you know what I want? I want a southern facing window, and I want it in a tall building in Manhattan. And I want windows that are wide and let as much light in as possible. So that's what I got. I got a place on the river in a new building on the 27th floor with big windows, one big window. It was a studio apartment with one big window. And I sat my butt on that window, and I shot, and I put up a white backdrop in front of me, and I shot people in front of that window for years. I mean, I started my career there, and it was all black and white. So the sun would change, the light would change. I would put a diffusion cloth over it when it was direct sunlight. If it was cloudy, I would just take it down. If it was raining, I'd slow my shutter speed down so I still had beautiful light, but it was like I would freeze people. Natural light is definitely the way to go. A lot of people look at my setup and think how sophisticated it is and how I take great pictures because of this light, but the fact is that light is light, and controlling it and learning what to do with it is fantastic. And I want to fiddle with all the best light out there, but natural light is free. It's easily, controlled if you're in an environment where you can use reflectors and stuff like that. If you're a headshot photographer on the street, in the streets of New York, you can't set up lights or anything, but you can have your makeup artist hold a reflector or something like that without getting bothered too much. So I would say just natural light, reflectors, diffusion material if you need it, definitely is the easiest thing to start out. If you're just starting out and you don't want to invest in this, invest in a camera and use natural light. I think in order to start a headshot business, you need a pro-level DSLR. I mean, it doesn't even have to be pro-level. I mean, maybe something like a high-end Canon Rebel might be like the lowest thing you would want to start with. I don't really know DSLRs because I've been shooting medium format for so long, but I know basically what I would say to any photographer: if you're starting a business, you got to invest in your business, and you got to look at your budget for your investment and buy the most expensive camera that you feel fits into your budget and allows you to buy the other things you need to start the business. So let that budget limit which camera you're going to get. Obviously, you get what you pay for, so the more money you put into it, the higher resolution, the more bells and whistles it's going to have, and the better photos it's going to give you. So when I was looking for light, when I first bought my lights, I didn't have a studio, so I wanted mobile power. So I bought Lumidynes, little Lumidyne lights that are great. I still use them a lot. They're fairly inexpensive, but now Alien Bees came out and they've got, great light, really controllable. They're reliable, they're amazing. There's a thing called a Vagabond that's battery powered. If you don't have a studio and you want to walk around, I got a Vagabond that powers my Alien Bees. That's a great place to start. My belief is that you need a studio when you have the business to support the studio. You don't need to go out and run and get a studio at all, especially if you're shooting natural light headshots. I shot in a studio apartment with my wife pregnant in the bed while I was shooting the client, right next to us in a studio. I mean, it worked out fine. I had twin daughters and we moved to a tiny little 2-bedroom, and I had this window that faced the Empire State Building, and I would shoot people on this couch that laid flat. It's over there, actually, that couch, and it lays flat, and I would put people on that, and I'd put my butt on the windowsill. But it was a tiny little living room. And then we moved into this is all in the same building, up to the top floor of the building with a bigger apartment with 2 bedrooms, and it was my living room that turned into my studio every single day. And I did it that way until this opportunity came where I got this tiny little room in a little studio and in a big studio, but it was a room off to the side, and that was really where my career took off. So you do not need a studio until you're ready. It's not even don't even think about it. Don't even stress it. And you can find space to rent. If you really want to rent a studio, you can rent a studio in New York City for probably $150 or $200 a day somewhere. You don't need to worry about getting a studio until you load up 5 clients. If you really want to shoot studio strobes and shoot in a studio, load up 5 or 10 clients for one day and rent a studio and go shoot like a maniac. When you guys are editing your photos that you've taken, I want you to look at them with a trained eye. I want you to really figure out what photo is the best. For me, it's got to have a connection to the camera. The person is not going to be blank. I don't want the person to look like they're in front of a camera. I want the person to look like they're looking at a human being. I want the human being to get a feeling from it, to wonder what the person in front of the camera is thinking to give them that expression. That's what, to me, a good headshot is. How do I figure out what I want to do for my clients? With actors, it's really a range. I want to create the gamut of sweet, innocent girl next door for a woman to bitch on wheels, and everything in between that I can hit that works in a confident way and it could be approachable on this end of the spectrum and more cocky on this end of the spectrum. So that's really the bar. For guys, it's generally about the same thing. You want to be a nice guy. You want to broaden their age range, make them look really innocent and young with girls and guys, and then make them look as old as they can look as well. So they got an age range and an expression difference throughout the shoot. So I'm trying to create those different shots. I think a lot of photographers are just trying to get a good shot out of them, period, and they're not really focusing on different things. I'm trying to, you know, throw everything against the wall and see what sticks. Let's talk about color versus black and white. In 2000, when I started shooting, it was all black and white for headshots. By 2002, 2003, LA was all color. So LA went color first. New York fought against color. I was one of the first ones to say, guys, we got to go color. All the headshot photographers wanted to stay black and white because it was cheaper and easier for them. Color became a whole new ball of wax. When I went digital in 04, January 04, I bought my digital camera. I was color then from that moment on. And I was pushing everybody towards color. Before that, I didn't want to shoot color either. I was a pro at black and white. My black and white was gorgeous, so I wanted to stick with film black and white. But when I went digital, I was like, this is the direction it's going. And the only reason why it wasn't color prior to that is because of a price issue in the printing. Black and white's much cheaper to print than color until now. Now black and white color costs the same. Of course, print color. When you walk in the door for an audition, you don't walk in as a black and white individual. You're color, so print color. Okay, vertical versus horizontal. How did this come about? It essentially came about because of the way I like negative space. I like space to move. If I shoot a headshot that's a traditional, real headshot vertically, you're in there, there's nowhere to move. I'm here. Where am I going? You know, I got the head to here, the face is here, the body's here, and you're not moving anywhere, and I don't find that the eye has anywhere to wander. I see horizontally first. So if I'm shooting actors and I'm thinking about a movie screen's horizontal. If I'm gonna put that person up on a movie screen, how's it gonna be shot? Next movie you go to, watch when they're do close-ups. How are they shot? They're cropped the way I crop them pretty much. You know, so it gives the eye a place to wander. Since we see horizontally first, we're gonna view the image quicker that way, and that's the way I like to shoot. So I just shot Veronica. She was great. I had met her in November, about a year ago, and I didn't have her number. She came in with a friend, but I remember the meeting, and she ended up not booking me then. But a casting director who likes my work and is a major casting director at ABC, her name's Marcy Phillips, referred her to me again, and she came back to shoot with us while we were filming this, which was great because she did a great job. She had good energy. She took direction really well, which is the key for me. If they take direction well, it's a piece of cake. If you know, I tell an actress to do something and they can't pull it off, you know, it's tough on me. So, but then I just throw different things at them. But everything that I did with her, she pretty much got. She pretty much understood, and I think we captured a lot of good images there. I love that. I like that too. Okay, we have a problem. You have style. It's good. That color's great. It's really good for headshots. And it's good to start with, so I might start you with that. I like simple stuff, and you did great, because everything here is pretty simple. This is a little too busy for me for a headshot. Just the two different lines and the textures just kind of get me a little bit turned off. But I normally start off casual, mostly because with women the makeup's natural and he adds a little bit as we go. We don't go crazy with makeup on headshots. We just add a little bit more, a touch more, so you get a little bit, you can be sweeter and more innocent in this, and then if I put you in something black and hot, you can be hot and sexy later. The only colors that I don't really love at times is something that goes close to the skin tone. You know, which is like kind of something like that, but not really. I mean, I used to be like that, and I'm over it now. I don't really, there are no real colors that don't work. So Veronica's out of makeup. I created a folder on my desktop right here that I'm going to shoot all my shots into. After she's done, they're going to go into this folder in my pictures file where I archive all my stuff and create JPEGs, and that's already set up, so I'm ready to roll there. The next thing I have to do is create a website for her on my client proofing page that allows her to proof the shots. So I've done that, and now she's all set up. So the shots, once she gets going, they'll be in here, and she'll be able to look at it right after the shoot. Nose that way. Look here. You're amazing. Oh, that smile. Freeze, 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 freeze. No, I got better headshots already than you've ever had. I guarantee it. There's no way. All right. Hold that. Hold that. Hold that. Hold that. Hold that. Hold that. I'm serious. Come see that. There's no way you have a better headshot than that. No. Stay there. Hold on. Hold that. Hold that. Hold that. Hold that. Good. Chin down a little bit. Good. That's it. Turn the body this way. Flip the hair off the front shoulder. Hold that. Drop your front shoulder down for me. Don't move. Stay right there. Scoot this shoulder this way a little. Okay, I haven't started coaching her yet. I'm trying to figure out her angles, and I'm trying to make sure my camera's firing on all cylinders and my lighting's right and all that. I'm not telling her any of this. I'm just trying to keep her animated and moving and working and excited about the shoot. All right, so with her, like, I know instantly what I'm up against when I get somebody in front of the camera. We've been talking the whole time. We've been busy. She's been out of makeup for a while. I was concerned that when I started shooting, she might be a little apprehensive. She's not. She's perfect. She's just there, just like, okay, I'm ready. What are we going to do? And that's just the perfect place for me to start. That's why I knew I was getting good stuff off the bat. And when she turns and stuff, she's totally comfortable. She's great. I'm happy. Nice. Chin down. A little sneaky. I like that. So you're married? How long has he been putting up with you?
6 months.
That's, what do you mean? He's only been putting up with you 6 months, or married to you for 6 months?
Okay. Well, whatever. You're welcome.
Hold that, hold that, hold that, hold that. Nose that way. Hold that. Nose that way, nose that way, nose that way. How long have you guys been together?
3 years.
Okay, so there's still flirting going on. And you're newlyweds. Yeah. I want to teach you something. Forehead towards the camera. So when you go like this, see this?
Yeah.
So go this way, like out, like forehead, that. Yeah. Hold on, cute. So we're gonna talk about positioning your clients later on in the DVD, but for now, I want you to really focus on jawlines because it's the first thing I always talk about. See how my jawline came out there and it created a stronger jawline, and when I brought it back, it fell apart? That's the first thing I have every human being do when they're in front of my camera. I tell them to turtle their head forward and bring their forehead towards the camera. We'll talk more about it later. So guys, she's doing great. You know, I just like to make a connection with them and talk about their lives and see, and she's got an interesting life and an interesting husband, so it was cool to bring up. So if she had said that she just broke up with her boyfriend, stop. Go another direction. All that, all that, all that, all that. No, that's it, all that. Nose this way, good. But you and Bradford are in good terms, so is that it? It's Bradford, right?
Yeah.
That's cool. Cross your arms in front of you. I like what that does for the shoulders. I like crossing arms. It relaxes people too. The minute people do that, it just feels cool, right? Come forward a smidge. Hold that. Come forward a smidge. There you go. Hold that. Good. Chin down. Hold that. That's super cute. Hold that. I love that. Good. So put the big guy in there and flirt with him a little bit. Show me what you got. Hold that. You can flirt with your husband. Hold that. There we go. That's great. Okay, so see that she takes direction very well. So this is like your number, this is the customer you want to have. This one. Hold that. Hold that. Well, you know, I get actors in here who don't take direction. It's crazy. You know? Hold that, hold that, hold that. That's it. Tilt the head back this way. Hit that one bang that's getting fussy. Beautiful. Beautiful. Where are you from originally?
Michigan.
Okay, see? So Michigan. I just was curious. I really legitimately wanted to know where she was from. Hold that. Hold that. That's it. Great. Nose back to me. And chin down. Good. Amazing. Good. Turn the body one way or the other. Either way. Great. Oh, I like that. Don't move. Going to show you guys something. Okay, so I shot this shot. Take a look on the screen. I want to show you something. This is good. So there's a lot of hair right in here. Bugs me. Blocks the neck. Cuts her off. Flip the hair off that shoulder. Watch this. Stay on that angle. Get that chin out and down. Get that, so I get that jawline nice. Turn the body a little bit less. Drop the shoulder. That's better for the jawline. Hold that. Hold that. Hold that. Amazing. Good. Not the same crop because I moved, but opens up the face. It's not the same crop because I moved, but it opens up the face. Okay, hold that. Hit that bang. That's it. I want you to imagine, there's a hook on top of your head and it's pulling you up to the ceiling. But when I lean you down, you're still kind of up.
Okay.
All right, hold that. Gorgeous. 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 That's it. Show me your flirting ability again. Ah, see, you got it. You still got it. You can be married and flirt. That's fine. You got it. Hold that. Cute. Hold that, hold that, hold that, hold that. Turn the body a little bit less than that. And slouch forward. So slouch forward and then do the hook so you're up a little bit. Like that. That's better for me. That's amazing. Big thing for me is that a lot of people over tilt and do all sorts of weird potty positions. I tell them to imagine that there's a string hooked up from the top of their head up to the ceiling, like with a hook that's pulling them up to straighten them out. And it elongates their body, and it gets their chin in a really nice position. When they bring their jaw out, instantly have jawline. So when I say hook it, that's what I mean. And they get that after I teach them the first time. So use that. It's one of my favorite things. There's 3 things you can move on your face. You know what they are? What do you mean you don't know what they are? Think about it. It's not a trick question. Hold that, hold that, hold that, hold that, hold that, hold that. That's it. Hold that, hold that. So see, I got smile out of her just by conversation. So you don't even have to be shooting them to make them. They can start laughing and then you go get them. I don't ask people to smile because it looks fake. Hit the hair like this.
Like this?
Bring it forward, yeah. Forward a little. Hold chin down. I just saw something. Hold that. I like that. Hold that. Just hit that hair once more. And then I want you to squint your eyes and hit this one bang. Squinting's sexy. Just you can't squint enough. I tell Asian people to squint. Hold that. Hold that. Oh, ah. Shake the hair out a little bit. So yesterday I was shooting guys, so my tripod was a lot higher. I always like to be a little bit above people. So it just depends on the person's height where I am. So I'm much lower today. When I shoot kids, I go to my chair and I sit down and I get in there. With her, I could probably almost sit, but I'm pretty comfortable here. I could probably almost sit. How tall are you? And she's got heels on. How tall are you really?
Now?
No, without those.
5'1", 5'2".
See, she's a cute little one. Hold that, come here. Hold that, hold that, hold that, hold that. Just come forward a smidge. Beautiful, hold that. Don't move, chin down. Nice, come on out. That was great, amazing. Amazing, yeah, see, I mean, she's got it. She's got it. All I have to do with her is try a bunch of different things and we're gonna nail it left, right, and center. But now I have, the hardest work is convincing her that they're good. So let's try and do that. Come here. Okay, so nobody really looks at themselves with a objective eye, I guess I would say. You know, it's really tough to get people to look at themselves and see themselves in the best light. So I'll see things that are completely different than what they're looking at. They might be looking at something that bugged them since they were a kid, and I'm looking at the beauty of the all-around picture. They might have one hair that's like this, and they'll be like, oh my God, I can't use that picture, when we know we're gonna retouch it off. So what I try and do is find out, I try and feel them out to see what it is that they're thinking or feeling, and try and, you know, persuade them that, you know, when I see a good shot that I like, it's good for a reason, and it's could be very valuable for them because it could get them work. So we're gonna do this and we're gonna see what bugs her about her, because everything, you know, everybody's got that. There's one thing that I do tell people, and it's this. How many times have you seen this?
A million times.
Have you seen the arrow?
The what?
The arrow.
The arrow? Wait, I want to find it. What, this? This? Like that?
No.
Wait! I'll get it.
Do you guys see the arrow?
See the arrow.
You don't see the arrow?
No.
Okay, look between the E and the X.
Oh, cool. There.
That was there the whole time. You've seen it a million times, you never saw the arrow, right? Okay, the arrow to me represents things that people don't really love about themselves. We're human, so we know exactly what we can't stand. I tell people to blame their parents. But, and they can blame their parents. But the arrow is in the shot. So if you see something that stands out for you that you're not quite thrilled about, the casting director isn't necessarily gonna see it. So you gotta let that stuff go. If I agree, I mean, I'll be, you know, a voice to say, yes, I see that too. But we're gonna go through them and we're gonna say, you know what, I don't see what you're seeing. So, and some people are good with it and some people have things that come up. So we'll just see how it goes with you. I'm sure you already got, do you like that picture?
I don't love, I guess this sets off my lips in a different way. I don't know. Like, I don't love my lips in that other one.
You don't like the lip color?
Well, I guess the way that it hits with this.
So it's color though?
Yeah.
So your lips not matching the sweater is a problem?
Like not complimenting it.
Okay, so maybe we could just change the color of the sweater. Is that better?
Oh, that kind of, yeah, kind of.
What if we go like this? You want it like that? Or you want to go gray? Why don't we just go like this? How's that?
Oh, wow.
Is that
yeah,
better? Are you happier now?
Okay, yeah.
So, okay, so let me tell you how I perceive that. Lip color can be changed by the retoucher afterwards.
Great.
So I don't want you to be concerned. That wouldn't be a reason for you not to like the image. The base of the image is good. We can change color afterwards.
Okay.
I haven't liked this color. I actually like that color that I made.
Yeah. I like
It's
that.
cool. But we're going to keep it the way it was.
Okay.
And, you know, we're going to have the retoucher. If you pick these shots and the lips matching the sweater, you want them more
Complimentary.
Yeah, that would be fine to do, and you could sit down with the retoucher and do that.
Okay.
I personally like that picture.
Okay.
So I took 68 of them, and I want to keep like 10 maybe. Do you need that for any reason whatsoever?
No.
No. What do you think?
Interesting. That's good.
Do you like it?
I mean, it makes my face look fuller because my chin's up. But
No, I think it's okay. I just
think
don't
it's
think
okay?
it's conveying the right thing. I don't think it's got the punch that you need for a headshot.
yeah,
It's
okay,
nice.
yeah, right.
You're beautiful in front of the camera, but it's
Thank you.
just nice. Guys, throughout this DVD, you're gonna see me editing like crazy, all right? I edit all my work every day. It's part of my workflow. It's part of me teaching the client how to get better in front of the camera, and it's also weeding out all the crap. So you do have a slight eye difference. Do you see that on occasion?
Yeah, no, I
Everybody
totally-
has it.
yeah.
Everybody has it. So don't worry about that. But see, that eye's just closing down a little more than that eye, or it's a little bit. So I move you around to adjust for that. I just have to watch it as I'm doing it. Usually, if it's her left eye that would be a touch smaller in this shot than that eye. So I would tilt that eye down. So tilting her head this way and chin down would open that eye up a little bit because it would make her look higher into the camera from her left eye. Cute, super cute. I like that. So if this bugged you, that could be they could
Yeah.
either fill that in or just take that off.
Okay.
All right, this one doesn't bug me.
Okay.
I like that shot a lot.
like
It's
that.
cute. That bugs me.
Okay.
I don't know
They do
why.
feel
It just bugs me. They fill that in. That's easy to fill in.
Okay.
Really good. I don't like it as much. It looks a little vacant compared to this one. I'm getting more juice out of that one.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that one just,
There are my eyes.
the eyes are a little
Yeah.
funky, but not too much. I mean, we'll get rid of it. Don't worry about that. Everybody has that. I almost love it. I want to shoot you more on that angle.
Okay.
No, this is indecisive. That's like you're in the middle of about to smile.
It's interesting.
I love it. I love what the shoulders are doing, guys.
Yeah.
So see, you get a little body language into it. And I don't know if I was asking her to flirt or be sneaky or do something, but there's something coming out of it that there's a lot behind it. There's little wispies down here that the retoucher's gonna grab. All right? I try and watch that for my retoucher so he doesn't have to work as hard. I'm trying to make sure that that stuff's not there, but sometimes you just can't get it all. No, chin's up too far. Chin's up too far. Eyes are out of it. It's too tilted and the hair's too funky. Same, right?
Yeah.
I like
The
that.
face, yeah, that's interesting.
It's interesting. It's totally different than what we've seen. So there's a little something there. It's different. See, now I love the face. I wish I had had her flip the hair first, but this really like throws me off. Do you like it or you want to keep it or lose it?
I
would
like
say.
the expression, but yeah.
I do like the expression too. We'll work that angle a little more. I like that angle. I love that.
Yeah, I like that.
No, I do love that. I like that, and we can tinker with the expression from there. It's a good angle for you. And the main thing that I want to convey to you guys is that I don't know if you've noticed that you're going to come up against this a lot. People with differences in their eyes. 95% of the people I have that. So you have to shoot people on certain angles that are best for their eyes to look symmetrical and really nice. This angle for her is perfect for it because it opens up the smaller eye that she has, which puts it in front, and then the bigger eye goes into the back, and now you get even eyes. See it? Very nice, very nice. You got to get the eyes looking normal before you worry about any other feature. I would go eyes first. Mouth is usually, it's not one side of the mouth. It's usually sometimes the most important thing is really the person's side. Which side is their best side? Once you get them on their good side, if the eye is off on their good side, this happens to be a good side for her, and the eye looks good. So we're in bonus territory. If this was her bad side, or if she had a bad side, I don't think this one over here has a bad side, but if she did have a bad side, then I would have to concentrate on the good side and figure out how to get the eyes sorted out if that was the wrong side for the eyes. With her, we're not in that situation, so we're doing okay. You're getting way more information than I usually give people. I love this one. The only thing that draws my attention, let's talk about this, and this is totally human, but there's something on this shot that draws my attention away from her beauty, and what is it?
It's the neck.
Yes, yes. But this is what human necks do. So what I tell people to do is if I've got them in a position like this, first thing I would do is probably tilt the head that way and drop this shoulder down to open up this neck so this doesn't happen. But in this case, I love the expression and the hair and the whole vibe coming from it because it's got a sweet essence about it. And I think that that is bookable for her. So I'm not going to delete that shot because of those lines on the neck, which I know are distracting because my eye goes there. And taking that away isn't deceiving the casting director. Everybody we wouldn't even have to take it away. We would just tone these down and maybe take this one away to strengthen her jawline. But we're not going to distort her face in any way to do that. It's just to take it down so that my eye does not go there. That's it. And I like that shot a lot because it's sweet. Mm-hmm. Very good. No. I love it. Okay. It's Facebookable.
Okay.
She's never going to use it as a headshot, but I like throwing these kinds of shots in because people, when they're looking through their session, they get a feeling from it. Everybody who looks at this, you guys look at that, it's cute. Yeah, you get a feeling from it. Of course, we're human. We want to see humans doing fun stuff. If you look at that and you don't get a feeling from it, then that would be bizarre to me. I mean, I'm wondering why she's laughing. Mm-hmm. I whipped out this book that I show everybody that has images of celebrities giving expressions that are interesting and ones of celebrities where they look like they're out to lunch and understanding the difference between the two. And then a whole host of other things that just from doing this for so long come to my mind in a routine of how I'm gonna address this. It's like throwing things at it and seeing what's going to work. And when one thing works for one person, it doesn't necessarily work for the other one. So I might whip out the book for somebody, and somebody else I might not want to show the book to. Okay, here's a good example. She's already doing it. I asked her to hit the squint just a little bit, but she's already doing it, so I don't have to ask her to overdo it. But I want her to I show her my little squinting thing just so she gets a sense of it. Mm-hmm. Squinting is cool. Not squinting, not squinting, not squinting, squinting, squinting.
Okay.
These two are much cooler than those three. Squinting, not squinting. Who would you rather be? Okay. Squinting and squinting.
Huh. Okay.
Both squinting.
Really?
Not squinting.
Yeah.
Everybody on this page is squinting. Except for Samuel Jackson. Everybody else is squinting.
Huh.
Squinting.
Yeah.
A little squinty, little pressure on the brows. I like that for guys. I like it for women too, but it has to be subtle. If you start to do it too much, you could try it. You could fiddle with that.
Okay.
So he's usually squinty, but in 1987 he didn't know what the hell he was doing. Not squinting, squinting.
Yeah.
They both didn't get their chin out though. See the chins?
Okay.
See, it's forehead actually. So look at me. It's forehead out and down, not chin. Chin is like this, and that's weird.
Forehead out and down.
Which dog is cooler? So squinting is really important to me if you haven't noticed yet. All right, we're going to talk about it throughout the rest of the DVD. I have a book of celebrities squinting to show my clients because I think it's that important. See this face?
Which one?
The faces on
Yes.
this thing. See the words?
Yes.
See how the face changes with the word?
Yes.
If I give you a word, can you make the face?
Sure.
This is tough. Yeah. Okay. I know you could do it. these words don't generally work for headshots, but I will throw some words out at you that do work.
Okay.
Okay, so what 3 things are changing on this face?
On which face?
On all of them.
Eyes, mouth, and eyebrows.
You got it. Okay. Ready to go back in there and wreck it, right?
Yes.
High five. All right, let's go. I want you to take a step an inch back. Good, that's it. Now I had her step an inch back because I feel like that's a touch blown out. I want to get a little bit more color saturation on the shirt. So I had her step an inch back just so the Kinos aren't as powerful. So she just went a little bit. Okay. I prefer moving them an inch back rather than making my shutter speed faster to make it darker, because an inch back is like more fine-tuned adjustment than a shutter. A shutter would make it too dark. An inch movement with the Kino flows is like going a third of a stop instead of a full stop, or or less than a third of a stop. Hold that, unlike the shutter. Hold that. Let's see the difference. See how you get more color saturation in the shirt there, and the face a little bit. You look miserable. Come on. Hold that, hold that, hold that, hold that, hold that. Do I need to get the big guy over here and get some reaction? Chin down slightly, and then but bring the forehead forward towards me. That's it. There you go, hot stuff. Come on, show me what you got. That's the best you can do? Hold that. Hold that. Good. I want some smiles. I'll take them. Nose back to me a touch so you're not so there you go. Good. Very nice. Are you nervous now that your husband's in the room?
No.
I'm kidding. Certainly not. It could only help. Hold that, freeze. Good. That's it. Hold that. Nose this way. I normally don't let spouses stay, but he's cool. He's a keeper. You better hold on to that one. Hold that. I asked her how many kids you guys have.
She says 1.
She does have 1, doesn't she? Drop the shoulder. Drop the shoulder. Bring it. There you go. Hold that. No, she's like, we've been married 6 months. I'm like, how many kids? Hold that. Hold that. Hold that. Hold that. Hold that. Hold that. There you go. Good. So I went for this shirt. I was just thinking about the shirt. The collar, it's just it's like a little businessy and a little commercial, and I think it's just bookable whether she's going on a commercial audition or for maybe a Law and Order thing or something like that. But it's still not too uptight. It's a little casual, so it's nice, and the colors are nice, and the stripes in it don't bother me at all. On camera, I wasn't sure when I was looking at it on the rack, but I like it. I think it's good. The color's nice. Hold that. How do you feel about the shirt?
It's good.
Wonderful, right?
Yeah.
Hold that. Tilt the head this way. Good. That's it. Chin down, nose that way. Hold that. Nice. There you go. Yeah, I want to talk to you about your career a little bit after these headshots hit the streets.
Okay.
Okay? So you just finished a big feature film.
Yeah.
Exactly. Who directed it?
Martin Scorsese?
Unbelievable. This is phenomenal for actors. You put them in a scenario, see how she lit up and she started doing stuff. I wasn't saying head to the left, head to the right. Did you feel that? Awesome. So I can feed out stuff like that, and it's just going into an improvisational mode that's fun. So how much? 5 million?
5 million.
You don't fly commercially anymore, do you? I didn't think so. Hold that.
Jet.
Hold that. Hold that. I know the paparazzi's been tough just when you walk down the street with your husband, but I can't imagine now, right?
Crazy.
Hold that. Hold that. Hold that. Hold that. Hold that. Hold that. Tilt the head this way. Good. Tilt the head a little bit. Hold that. Beautiful. That's it. Hold that. Gorgeous. Let's look at some of those. No, chin's up a little bit too much. Too tilted.
Yeah.
This is when I'm talking, so you're getting a lot of movement and a lot of that. So what I'll do is I'll do the silly story to get the reactions,
Yeah.
and then I'll hone in on it like that, like that.
Okay.
Really nice. You see?
Yeah.
But it all comes from throwing stuff off the cuff, so you get something like that we didn't,
Yeah.
really try and concoct at all. What else did you do? The movie poster that you did with Brad?
The movie poster I did?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Hold that, hold that. Where were you guys?
We were in Paris.
Oh, really? Isn't that romantic? What I'm doing right here is one of my techniques that I use for actors. I like to get their brain out of the room, I say. I don't want them thinking about their headshots. So what I do is I fill in a story where I put them in a scenario that they would like to be in, like shooting a feature film. and I create this ridiculous film out of my head, you know, have them doing a million things at once with superstar director, superstar actor, Oscar buzz, this kind of thing. Because if that punch is in there, this is what they're going for in their career. If that takes their mind off of headshots, they will give me real reactions. And it will become absurd, and they'll crack up, and I'll get the laughter, and I can make them, you obviously see me use flirting a lot. I can make them flirt with Johnny Depp for all I care. You know, it doesn't matter. And hopefully that creates a reaction. It's all based on getting their juices flowing and keeping them going and keeping their energy up. And as you can see, when I'm directing, my energy's up, and I'm a little silly, and I'm trying to keep them going. So it's usually like that during my sessions. How was the scene where you had to sleep with Steve?
Steve who?
Buscemi.
That was awesome.
You got to tuck that tag. I'm seeing the tag. Tuck the tag. He didn't pay, and Brad had to beat him up. It was horrible, right?
It was kind of horrible, but
Hold that.
Yeah.
Hold that. What about Jack?
Jack Nicholson was amazing.
Really?
Yeah, because he was a master, and he
Hold
took me
that.
under his wing.
You got to go chin down slightly. There you go. Good. That's it. That's it. How many guys did you have to sleep with in the film?
40.
40. Wow. Hold that. All right, guys. So what I'm doing is I'm telling a story, and I'm making up things as they pop into my head. And it may be ridiculous. It may not make any sense to you. But what I'm making sure is happening is that the body is positioned correctly, the head and neck are where I need them, and then I'm just getting them to react to things that I'm saying. And basically, when I go back to the computer and edit, I'm just throwing stuff against the wall and seeing what sticks. I'm trying to find those shots in between all this movement and all this stuff and all this reactions to these little snippets of banter that I throw at them. Good, that's it. Hold that. I love these. Hold on, I just want to go to a gray background and try some on a gray background. So when I started, I only did white because that was the simplest and easiest. People are, you've been doing white for years. Can you do something different? I was like, well, what's going to be simple and easy? Turning down the power on my lights on the background creates a gray background. Who knew? Let's just do something easy. That's a neutral color. I don't mind it. It doesn't take the eye away very much. I'm going gray for some people. I have the white, gray, and black up there because occasionally when I'm shooting some, models or fashion stuff, I won't use strobes on the background, and I'll make the gray go gray, which I like. Or if I want, I've got black, which is really dense and can go black. So that's why I do use them on occasion, but generally not for headshots. I don't like the background in the headshot too dark because the subject will fall into it, and I'm not into that. So how are you handling the Oscar buzz?
Really well.
Yeah, good.
It's what it is.
Hold that. Good. Nose back this way. Good. Tilt the head this way. I want mention in the speech.
You what?
I want to be mentioned in the speech. I mean, yeah, exactly. Without the headshots, forget it. Guys, so Veronica was amazing, easy to work with. She was very directable. She did everything. She basically took direction really well because she did anything that I wanted her to do. The challenge with her became, she was very pretty and her jawline was fantastic. The challenge really became the eyes. And when you see the edits and you see the shots, she gets the eye difference, and then one eye looks sleepy, and sometimes she doesn't look focused, and sometimes the hair also was a little bit all over the place, but that's easily correctable and can be watched. It's really the eye difference that became my focus during this shoot, to make sure that I got her looking, even, that her eyes were looking even over the course of the shots. And that's mostly positioning and trying to get them in the position where the eyes look the best. And that was really my focus with Veronica. Good, right there. Beautiful, beautiful. And then try, I want you to try snooty. Okay, good, but give me more devious, more towards devious. Yeah, you're out, but you know you're devious. You're like that soap opera diva bitch from hell that smiles because she knows it. Yeah, but you squinty and you're like, hold that, there you go, nose this way, hold that, nice. Oh my God, she was the best with the words that I've seen in a long time. So the words are just supposed to stimulate and inspire them to use their mouth, eyes, eyebrows to create a face. And some people I'll give the words to and their face doesn't change at all. It's like barely changes. It's like you didn't really change anything. You You still look perplexed when I said you should look studly. You know? But with her, I said, what were some of the words? Oh, I think I said porn starish. And she took it to a whole nother level. I loved it. Can you try sultry? Hold that. Good. See, sultry's good. You got that? Good. What about antsy? Hold that. Good. Why would I use a word like perplexed? Because the shot after the perplexed shot is usually laughter, and it's really good. It's really good. And plus, I want to see if they'll stretch. I like throwing things from left field, so if they'll go for it, that means I could say anything to them. If they can't handle looking perplexed, then, you know, or they don't go for it, then I don't think they're going to really stretch into, I might have to go a subtler direction with a person like that. How about feisty? She is a feisty little one, isn't she? Yeah. All that. Good. That's it. Good. Good. Tilt the head this way. Hold that. Beautiful. Chin down a little bit. Good. Good. Beautiful. I love it. You're kicking butt. All right. Amazing. See, the words worked really, so the words were phenomenal for her. Some people wouldn't even, I'll say a word and their face doesn't change at all. They're just not, the 2 and 2 don't go together. But if you can try it with somebody like that, you're on fire. I mean, that was amazing. Very good. Guys, so when I first get somebody in front of my camera, generally if they're not thrilled or happy or whatever, they'll make a face like this. The first line I always use, don't look so miserable. Almost creates laughter almost every time. If it doesn't, you got a really serious problem on your hands. Don't look so miserable. They laugh. I shoot it. I got them. And then I can use that throughout the session to make them understand that they need to look upbeat in their headshots. Like, Veronica's a smiler, so that's easy to get her to smile. And she didn't look miserable most of the time, but I can throw that in whenever I want. And you tell somebody they look miserable, they don't want to look miserable, so they're going to smile. And if you do it with a group, those people crack up around them if you tell them one person looks miserable, so it's good with groups too. When I'm shooting, I delete every shot that I don't like. I don't ever go for a specific number. I want to give value to my clients to make them feel like they got enough shots to go through, but I like to saturate the shoot with a bunch of good shots. So I won't let anybody leave without 100 good shots, and sometimes I'll do 200, 250, 300 if I narrow it down to that. If I shot 800 and I want to get it down to 300, or, you know, but generally I would say on average people leave my studio with 150 shots on average, something like that. So anywhere from 100 to 200, I'm happy. And they generally need about, you know, maybe they'll use 5 shots over the next couple years in their career, something like that they'll use. So I'm trying to get those 5 shots in a range that they can use. Some use more, some use less, just depending on the range that we captured. So a lot of photographers charge by the hour or give a set number of shots they charge by, charge per look, that kind of thing. I don't really do that. I have one package price that's expensive, that's set up to be a full out package for people to come here and get what they really need for their business. So in order to do that, I don't have set times. My big thing is under promising and over delivering. If you go to my website at peterhurley.com, there's an orange star in the lower left-hand corner. You can click on that and it will take you to my rates page. I don't show my rates on the site for the reason that I have a lot of different clientele. And I don't want an advertising agency seeing my headshot rates. That just doesn't, even though it's a high rate, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't look professional for me at the level I'm at. So that's why I don't put the rates on the site. But I do have a little orange star. It's like the simplest thing I could think of to get people to go there. So that's what I do. You can go there, click on it, and on that page, we can show it if you'd like, but essentially on that page, it says that I shoot anywhere from I give them anywhere from 75 to 100 shots or something like that, and I shoot 4 to 6 looks maybe. I don't know it off the top of my head, but basically I give them way more than what I put on there. So it says the shoots are about 3 to 3.5 hours. They're about 3.5 to 4 hours. I don't put a time limit on it, but eventually once you got them, I mean, you don't need to shoot them anymore. So it's not really, the people who just want to shoot more are just indecisive individuals that aren't certain that they got it, and they're not going to be happy if you shoot them for the next hour or you shoot them for the next day. It's not going to, it's not going to make a difference. So. So I get asked a lot about my lighting. I think my reputation is the white background headshot photographer, and that I only shoot on white backgrounds. The deal is I shoot everything. I just happen to think that the white background is the simplest thing that you could put behind an actor. I think it's an actor's headshot, and all that should be in it is an actor and a head, a shot of an actor and a head. I don't need anything else in there. So it's the only reason why I shoot it is because it's the simplest thing I could put behind somebody, is white. I decided to fiddle with gray recently just because I like it, and I think it's simple as well. There's no tone difference or anything like that. It's just nice. But I did do the white. I love the white, and the white inspiration probably stemmed from Richard Avedon. I love looking at his work and love what he always did, and I'm proud to produce white background images that have been noticed by people worldwide. How did I do it? So like I said, I started shooting with my butt on a windowsill with a white background behind the actor and natural light. And that was how it started. So when I moved into a studio, I wanted to find that same similar look. So here's what I was thinking. I'm thinking I need sun. Sun just fills light everywhere. So let me buy these lights and just plaster them around people. That was it. And I knew that if I bought these, there's a 4-footer over here, a 4-foot Kino Flow light over here, a 2-footer underneath, and a 2-footer above. I was like, if I buy all 4-footers, then I want them to be really in, because I'm shooting headshots. I want to be really close to the subject because they don't put out much light. So I'm like, how do I get them closer? Well, let's put 2-footers in the middle, and let's smush the 4-footers next to them. And that gave me that all-around light that you see in my work. So guys, remember when I first bought those Kino Flows, I needed to figure out how to make the background white because I wanted a white background. These are pretty close to that, and that's white, but I'm being exposed here, so that could be falling off and not be pure white. So in order to make it pure white, I had to hit it with a strobe. So I put the 2 alien bees on the sides to hit it with the strobe. If you're confined in space, then you can throw some sort of material like a silk behind them and shoot a flash through that to create a white background as well. For headshots, you don't need that much space in white to do that. So I didn't need floor to ceiling. Just a little, enough room to create the shot. Lighting wise, we've been talking about lighting a lot in my setup, and I know people are intrigued by how I do it, but the real fact of the matter is that I shoot with light encompassed all around the subject. So you can take soft boxes, you could take any kind of strobe that you can put in them and put them all around your subject, and you're gonna get this kind of light. Hey guys, so here I am. I just want to show you a different setup other than the Kino Flows. These are the first lights that I ever bought when I started shooting, and they're called Lumidynes, and it's a very simple setup. I've got 2 Lumidynes here with soft boxes on them. I just wanted to I didn't have a stand short enough, so I put this one on an Apple box, but to get it a little lower. And I've got this one up top going straight at them, and this one underneath with some fill. So this one's a little bit less powerful because the inside in here, I'll show you, has an extra little diffusion in the center of it. So it's a little bit less. I took the center diffusion out of the top one, so it's a little more powerful. So I'm just getting fill from the bottom, and then I'm hitting it with the top light, and it's giving me really nice light, as you can see over here, from the shots that I'm getting with Tom. So we're gonna do a couple other different setups with him, and we're gonna try some Photex soft lighters and the Kinos so you can see a little bit of a difference. He's against a white wall, which is going a little bit gray because the light's hitting his, I'm exposing for his face first, and then it's falling off and going a little bit gray. So I've got the lights positioned, I call it almost a clamshell effect. And I've been shooting that way, And I think it's a really effective, nice, simple light if you're not going to go out and buy a whole KinoFlow setup, or if you want to use it when you're not using natural light. So here it is. Tilt the head this way. There you go. Hold that. Very nice. Piece of cake. He's got it. Good. Nice stuff. Good. We got it. Good. Guys, here we are. I'm now shooting 2 Photex soft lighters out of a Pro Photo pack. One's a key, one's a fill. The A channel is going to be a little bit brighter than the B, and you can see I'm filling with that from the pictures. I'm getting great results, and I just wanted to show you how using the strobe can still create amazing results for headshots. That's it. That's I like that. Put the chin down, open the beady eye. Hold that. There you go. Good. Chin down a little more. Nice. Nice smile. I like the smile. Good. There you go. There it is. Guys, so one thing, this is amazing. So I just wanted to show you some different setups that I do. But I just took the Alien B, I bounced it into my white background, which could be a white wall or whatever it is you want to use, back onto my subject, and I got this amazing light. So I just want to show how easy it is to light with anything. Take one Alien B head, just bounce it at a white wall, and boom, you got beautiful soft light with your subject in front of it, and it's amazing. I think it looks as good as the other stuff I'm doing. Attempt greatness, come on. No, you could attempt it. You know, yeah, I know you're never gonna get there, but you can hold that, good. All right, so here we are. I'm gonna show you the lighting that I do every day. It's my signature KinoFlow setup. I've shown you the other stuff, and now I'm gonna show you this. So basically what I've got the KinoFlows in here. I use this is called a V flat. What it is it's a 4x8 gator board that I cut in half, and I can set it up here, and it's just gonna block light from the subject. This one's black on black. I've got ones that are white on one side and black on one side. Sometimes I bend those, but for this, it's just to keep light from bouncing all over my subject, so it's blocking the light from them. The light sits behind it, and this is the Alien B that I showed you before. And I like my backgrounds white. I don't want them over white. I want them just barely white, because if I make them too white, I'll flare, the light will bounce all over the room, and I don't want that. So I adjust my light perfectly so the background's just white. And we're gonna show you one that's overexposed with the light bouncing all over the place to show you the difference. But that's at an eighth power on this 800 pack. I've got 2 of them. I got one on the other side. So I'm going to set that the same distance from the background so that everything's even with my V flat on an 8th power. I like them generally about chest height to the person I'm shooting. So if the person's real short, I'll lower them. All right, guys, I am building out this lighting, and it's my KinoFlow setup, and we're going to start and build from the ground up. So I'm starting with 2 banks pointed directly at him, even lighting, 4-foot banks on each side. I'm not lighting the background. He's about 8 feet off a white background, and that background should go a deep gray, but we'll have nice even flat lighting on him in the front, and then we'll build upon that. Hold that. Good, let's see that. And there we go. We get a deep gray background with flat even lighting on the front. So from here we'll go straight into the strobes. I'm going to add the strobes, and we're going to make the background white. So you've seen the gray background, we're going to add the white. Okay, here he is, same position. I just turned the strobes on. Let's do a shot. Hold that, right there, nice, good. So now we have a white background, but it's really white. I blew it out. The Alien Bs are way overpowered, so I got to bring them down so that I don't have as much flare as I have. So I'm going to bring them down. The last shot we had was way overpowered, and we were blowing, he was getting flare all over him. Now we're going to take a shot. I lowered the Alien Bs to an 1/8 of the power, and we're going to see what we get here. Hold that. There you go, hold it. There we go, we got it. Good, and now we got a shot, no flare. Looking good. Where the background is just still barely white. Let me bring it down, and I'll throw it down all the way to 1/32. I'll throw my little diffusion cloth on. Now I'm as low as they go with diffusion cloth, and I'm going to see if I can get it to go a nice soft gray. Hold that. Hold that. And there you have it. Now you have a nice soft gray instead of a really deep gray like we had at the beginning. So from just tweaking the power on my alien bees, I can have two different backgrounds. I can go pure white and down to a nice medium gray to a deep gray and everywhere in between. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you how I really shoot guys. I like to give a little bit of deep structure to the face with shadows and stuff like that. So I'm gonna power off some of the power on the right. Okay, so I've lowered the power on my right bank. I've taken 2 bulbs off completely, and I lowered the power of it with the adjustment on the ballast to be a little bit less power in that than the other one. And I'm gonna use my Kicker Vista beam in the back to light to get that jawline. So I just turned on my Vista beam in the back, my Vista beam 600, to give that nice little kick to the jawline. So let's see how it does with Tom. All right, Tom, so turn towards the main source light, which would be this one. Scoot this way. Scoot back a little bit. Scoot back. Yep. Yep. I'm watching the light on his face as I'm moving my lights around to adjust it just by hand. Chin down to see what kind of adjustments I can make. So I've only got 1 tube lit on the right Kino Flow because I want to create a little depth to the face and I want that kicker light to show up a little bit more. So that's what I got. Hold that. Good. Scoot back a little bit. Drop the shoulder towards the light. Turn the body more towards me. Tilt the head this way. Hold that. Guys, this is really going to show the kick on the jawline. Good. There you go. There it is. Now I'm cutting up that jawline real nice. You see the difference? So you see that light, how it lights that cheek right there? Right there, it's lighting that side of his cheek. And it's really bringing a nice highlight to that jawline. Turn it off now. Watch. Now I'll shoot. Dive in the light a little bit. Hold that, hold that, hold that, hold that, hold that. Good. And now I don't have that kicker light, and it flattens his face out a little bit. Now go back on with it. Now we're throwing it back on. Hold that. Perfect. Good. And now it's there. Perfect example of what that light does. Just amps up the jawline, and for guys, that's so cool. So I'm good with Tom, and this is what I do with guys. I'm usually varying. The one thing that I didn't show you is that I might move the Vista beam to the other side. If, let's say, somebody's side is their good side, I'll switch on and off the lights to move them to each side to find out, but I'll do the same exact thing you just saw on the other side. So I'm good with guys. And now we're going to get into girls. I'm going to show you how I shoot the female lighting with Molly. So now I've got my Kino Flow square setup that I use on everybody. I use it for soft lighting whenever on guys, on women. I use it almost every day for whoever I'm shooting, especially for women because I like its soft, natural beauty light. I've got 4 bulbs on each of these lights on, same power, two 2-footers, 2 4-footers, and they're all pointed in Molly's general direction right now. Bottom light's pretty close. The bottom light and top lights are about 18 inches each, and the side light is, this one's 22, so she's varying it a little bit this way. So, but that's it. I mean, it's pretty much even. Even lighting, beautiful. And you'll see it if you're shooting digitally. You'll shoot, and then you'll see if you get a little bit more uplight, you know you got to lower this a little bit to even it out. So we're going to take a shot of her and see how it looks. Ready? Hold that. Now, I want Molly, now they're all, I like to say there's a light convergence basically, that all lights are pointed and basically all hitting Molly evenly in the face. I want Molly to come a step forward. Come a step forward. Now chin down a little bit. Hold that. Come another tiny step forward. Hold that, hold this. Now, if I bring her too far forward, she's not getting all the benefits of all my lights. So I get some funky lighting there. So now take a couple steps back. Hold that. Now chin down. Now she's perfect. And the further back she goes, I get nice, soft, flattering light. Go a little bit further back, but it's just like taking a stop off. Watch. And now she's further back from me, but I'm going to fire it. And let's see. So you can move people back from it and you really don't get a change in the light too much, but they'll just go a stop darker. So you want to open up. Guys, this is so easy to create with softboxes. I mean, look at what I did. All you would have to do is have a strip here, a softbox here, and a softbox here, and you got it. Even lighting on each one of them. Just make sure the output's the same and you got great light. Hold that. Beautiful. So this is the secret setup people have been chatting about in forums for years. It's not about the light. It's about the expressions and what I'm pulling out of the people. Yeah, it's nice light, but now you know it. You can go do it. Get it with Kinos, get it at flow lights, get strip boxes and soft boxes and strobes and throw it in there and do it yourself. But work on your expression with your people so you can get life out of them. Because without the life, it doesn't matter how beautiful this is. Although this is really beautiful. So I had Colt come in, and his agent had called me previously about him coming in. So we got him to be filmed today, which was great. He just got off a Broadway show, West Side Story, and he hadn't really had a serious headshot. I'm at slow shutter speeds, so which means that if you're moving while I press the button, you'll get a little blur. So you need to be still. I want you to feel free to move a lot. I don't want you. I'll move you around a little bit, but I want you to be natural and cool. Hands are perfect where they are. I like front pockets, I like back pockets, I like crossing arm. Keep them there for now and we'll just move around and I'll guide you everywhere you're going. This is the first time I'm shooting Colt in this scenario, and I want to look at his angles and his sides and see what's the best angles for him and see where he's really going to bring out his best features so he can get work in this business. This guy is a damn good looking guy. Have you seen him? And I'm straight, and he's damn hot. No, come forward. Scoot that way, scoot that way. There you go, hold that right here, look here. The first thing that comes up whenever I'm shooting anybody, including Cole, was figuring out which angles work well for them. Then I have to look at their skin texture and jawline and features around their face to figure out what's gonna be the best lighting angle. With guys, it's more lighting. With women, I usually use the same light. With guys, I vary the shadow and stuff depending on their features. So generally, the vibe you want to give the camera is nicer guy to start with. It's easier for me to get you looking like a prick than it is to get you warmer. Generally. One thing I like to start with is I think casting directors respond to shots where you're conveying something to the camera, and there's certain things that work that you can convey. So this is all stuff that I say to people as I warm them up. It's the direction that I want them to go. So you need to get a game plan in your mind. Even with everybody, I kind of have a game plan, and it changes depending on how they take my direction. So get a game plan for yourself, a simple one that you know you can do with everybody, and then adapt it according to how they respond and react to you. So far, this guy's a champion, so I've got him. He's going, I know where I'm taking him, and I know he's gonna give me the range he wants. I'm personally friends with his agent, so if I don't do well with him, I'm gonna get my butt kicked. Hold that, look here, hold that, there you go, good. See, and I got a good shot because I talked about Chuck. On camera, I said Colt was a champion. In reality, he was a little bit of a tough customer. I didn't want him to get the idea or the impression that I didn't feel like he was doing well, so I want to pump him up as much as I can. What I was having trouble with him was I was getting good big smiles, but when I got him towards the serious side, he looked miserable the entire time, and I wanted a little bit of charm, a hint of warmth, and that hint of warmth was not coming through, and he would get worried looking very easily. So when I'm saying I'm shooting 100 shots to keep 5, that means that the client's really not where I need them to be, and I need to overshoot it to try and keep warming them up till I find what I need and then start to get them going down that path. For me, guys, this is warm-up. I'll shoot 100 shots of him in this look to keep 5. 5 shots. I don't need more than 5. I don't care about more than 5. I just want to get shots of him so that I know his angles are good, and then get him in front of the computer so that we learn together what we could do to keep rocking. I shot 60 so far. That's not enough for me. Not even close. All right, but I'm gonna throw in some other stuff. So there are a couple things that I like. Since you suck at flirting, I'm gonna give you another word. Okay, look here, scoot this way. Hold that, look here. Scoot back, hold that, hold that, hold that, hold that, hold that. There you go, good. I wanted to get his brain off the mouth tension and onto getting good pictures that spontaneously arise. So I put them in scenarios, started using stories. Try this. You ready? Okay. I'm going to go for your acting skills.
Oh, shit.
You ready? You're cast in a romantic comedy as the flirtiest guy on the planet. And his name is Juan. Hold that, look here. Hold that. Hold that. Tilt the head this way. That's it. But he's flirty. And drop the shoulder a little bit. Scoot back a smidge. Good. Tilt the head this way. Hold that. And you're getting paid, it's your first $1 million gig. So you flirt, and you had 3 auditions. And you were going in for Ellen Chenoweth on it. All right? So have you read for her yet?
I have not.
Okay. She's pretty major. Bend at the waist. Tilt the head this way. Hold that. Tilt the head this way. And you're down to your last callback. And they brought in the female lead for you to flirt with, and she's across the room. Okay. And I forget who she's being played by. It does matter. It matters. It matters. It matters.
It doesn't matter when that money comes through.
Okay, it doesn't matter. Okay, she's being played by Gabourey Sidibe. The girl from Precious, guys.
That is yum.
Hold that.
You said that whole fucking this talk.
All that. What he was trying to do and what was coming across to the camera were 2 different things. So I was seeing a lot of shots where he did not look pleasant. He wasn't coming across as this leading man type, which I felt that he could pull off. He was coming across as I used the word miserable quite a bit. You know, the mouth didn't have any engagement in it. So in order for me to get that, I immediately know, I become aware of the problem. I don't tell my clients generally directly it's the problem. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I slowly warm them up and then start to talk about it. I wanted them to be comfortable dealing with it. But, and then I bring them in front of the screen and then I show them and I say, this is what we got to work on. I just give them shit with the scenarios. The mouth needs a slight hint of a smile. I mean, this will happen all day long because you laugh at my jokes.
Yes.
I like that.
That I do. I cannot seem to help
And then it looks totally cool. Mm-hmm. This is the general gist of everything. People look great when you catch them in a reactive state. We don't walk around ever thinking about our expression, ever. Did you think about your expression before you came in the door today? No. So our face has it under control. I don't know what my face looks like right now, but I'm hoping my brain has it under control and I look fairly normal. Well, that is a camera. But, if you look into a camera and the pressure's on to get a good outcome, your brain will instantly want to control that outcome. Every client I have. And that's when things get strange. Thank God, because if it didn't, I wouldn't have a business. My business is all based on what you're seeing right now. I love it. That's good. Fucking A. Look at that. Really nice. You see it? And then you get some veins in here. These, Julie Roberts has that. I mean, everybody's got it. So what happens is when you crank a smile, this will happen. Have the retoucher just tone it down. Because that's frozen for eternity. And that's not going to affect the way you look. I'm not like flattening out everything and changing your appearance by flattening that out. That's only there for a split second when you crack up. No. Yeah, and your genuine smile is cool. I like that. See how it's a little off kilter? Yeah. I like that kind of stuff. That's the stuff that you get. And now, so now here's an example. Do you feel better a little bit? Yeah. You got a good smile shot? We're on our way. That's why I show people, because now once you know, after I go through 109 of these and keep like 10 of them, you're going to go back in there and you go, oh, okay. That means I can screw up like 30 times and it's fine. That's a good one. That's more, you see the difference? It's just got more stuff going. It's cooler. Yeah, I like that too. Yeah, this is a dorkier guy, and this is a cooler smile. You look like a edgier guy there, and this looks like a commercial, like boy next door guy, and this is just cooler. So I like space in the mouth sometimes, but you have to allow weirdness to happen. If your face doesn't feel weird, you're not doing enough.
Okay.
If your face doesn't feel weird, it looks like this. I mean, that's what, seriously. So look, 3 things that you can move: mouth, eyes, eyebrows, right? See the mouth's weird, but it's not mean, but it's dropped open in a weird way. And then engagement of the brow does all this. So I love this. You know, I'm big into squinting or narrowing of the eye. It's not really squinting, it's a little narrowing of the eye.
Yeah.
Mouth weirdness and just doing things, messing around, but looking in the camera with intention while you're doing these things.
Okay.
Really cool. So look at this here. I'll show you. I'll just go through the girls. See how blank that is?
Yes.
There's no movement. Mouth, eyes, eyebrows. Nothing. 0. She's on the cover of Vanity Fair.
Yeah.
Blank to me and blank to me. This is better. She's being a little sneaky. They're a little seductive, a little squinty, a little smart. The mouth's a little saying something. See, she's flirting. This is just drilling the camera with confidence and approachability. So that's my main thing. Confidence with approachability in headshots, guys. Fear. You see that?
Yeah.
I mean, she's looking at Marissa. I think she's saying to herself, what the hell's Marissa doing with her hand on my hand, and why'd they give her the hotter dress? Right? You know? They're both flirting with you.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Little squints, little smiles, little brow action here. Mouth drops. See, there's space. The mouth is not jammed together. Like, leaving space lets the mouth allow it to do something without pursing and stuff like that. But you got to allow it and believe it, too. Sneaky, squinty. Fear. All right? Everybody on this page is squinting. This is what I want you to get. Everybody on this page is squinting, except for Samuel Jackson, and he looks a little freaked out or, you know, like intimidating, which he is, so it works for him. But these two guys, I mean, this is one of the cockiest dudes acting, and he looks it there, and he's cocky too. You see that?
Yeah.
And look at all the squints. Everybody, I'm sure Jack's squinting. So, engaging mouth. See how tiny the smile is? But it's there. Eyes and eyebrows, right? Pressure on the brows are big. Like, if you want to, inquisitive is a word I use a lot for a headshot. So he's being a little inquisitive as to what the heck's going on over here, right? It becomes more interesting. This is a good one. I like this. So he's usually got his act together. You never see this guy off his game. In 1987, he didn't know what the hell he was doing. That's Brad Pitt before he knew he was Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
For sure. Right? Raising the lower lids to narrow the eye. There's no word for this. It took me years to figure this out. This is years of stuff. People look in cameras like this when they get in front of cameras, and then they become vacant. I feel like I have to smack them to wake them up, and I want them to go like this. So watch my eyes. From here to here, what happened? Raise your lower lids. Muscle memory. Raise the lower lids. My business is built on squinting. I tell Asian people to squint. Pressure on the brow and squinting, right? This I just showed because of how the face changes. Here's a thing I really like. So, what are the 3 things the guy's changing?
Mouth, eyes, and eyebrows.
Exactly. And I can give you a word that will make you do what this guy's doing. If you'll allow yourself to do it. And you're an actor, and I think you're a pretty good one. You could probably do this. Okay. And then I brought him in front of the mirror and actually had him working on it. Most of the time when I'm getting pursed lips and stuff like that, you've got to there has to be air between the lips. if you leave some space, they can't produce the tension that makes the mouth go first, like this, or like this. If they're pulling little smiles, I never ask for big smiles. I get those people laughing for that. If they're pulling little smiles and they can't do it, then that is based on being consumed by getting it right. And then you have to turn them on their head and get them thinking about something else other than the photo shoot. Like, you got to learn your go-to moves that you can do with it. Yeah, and now squint the eyes. Do the eye squint thing. Go lower lids. Get those lower lids rocking. It's a focusing. You know, I'll give you a couple ways to get there.
Okay.
Couple ways to get there, guys. This is big. Look in the mirror. I want you know when you're in the doctor's office and you read the eye chart and you get to the end and you're like XZW? Like, imagine, look deep in that lens and be like, you know, no, look at me. Look at my eyes. Yeah, it's got to. You gotta have that muscle memory for the rest of your career.
Yeah.
Not for today. Today I'm gonna force you to do it and I'm gonna watch you and make you get it. But you gotta do it for the rest of your career because nobody's gonna tell you in front of cameras. Go up like this. Higher. Look at me. Lock your eyes like that. Lock them. Don't move your eyelids at all. Now come down. You moved them a little bit. Did you feel it? Yeah.
Felt it.
So go up, lock them. No, look at me though. Look down so that you get them squinty. There you go. Now lock your eyelids. That's it. There it is. Feel the difference?
Oh yeah.
You see the difference? Feel the that's it.
Remarkable.
Yeah.
I like that though. Seriously.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. But you got to lock them and then feel it. Now the other thing is that when you're doing all this, if your brain doesn't allow you to do it, you will not. It still will look like you're holding it like weird. So I want you to do a couple things. Listen to the as we think, as you're in there, your brain's going to be telling you, oh, that sucks. My mouth's a mess. Your eyes are a mess. This, blah, 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 blah. You're going to be, I got you doing this type of thing, 5 million things at once. Instead of your brain saying, oh my gosh, this is weird. This doesn't feel right. I want you to just block that, and I want you to say to yourself, well, let me just try this. Like, I want you to throw it against the wall and see what sticks. Like, when you're doing the funny faces, that's what you're doing.
Right.
You're going, oh, because you know it won't ever be a headshot. So there's no outcome. So it's like you're allowing yourself to play. I want you to allow yourself to play by saying, well, let me just try this. And I'll shoot 50 shots of you just, Peter, what about this? Let me try this. Let me try this. So always don't think my mouth, go, let me try this. Let me try this. Let me try this. Let me try this. In your brain, that's all I want to hear. Go in there. So obviously there, you could see that Colt's a little bit uncomfortable in front of the mirror. And he's a little bit uncomfortable in front of the camera. And what I was trying to convey to him is that I wanted his inner self to start to play. And the amount of playfulness that he allows in determines the facial expressions and the belief that comes across in the camera. And Colt's having a hard time with this, so I am belaboring the point, going over and over and over and hitting him from all sorts of directions to try and get the outcome to become more chill and relaxed and like there's no camera in his face. Don't think, see how when you get to the end and you want to change it, because your brain's telling you it could be better, don't let that happen. Let me shoot what you think is right, and then let me shoot the shot that your brain wants to go to. Good. And then always the only thing behind let me try this is I got to be a nice guy too. Even if I'm being right? Fairly nice guy. This is along the lines of it though. This is along the lines of it. Forehead towards the camera. When I don't see jawline, I'll say forehead towards the camera. All right, never chin towards the camera. Chin towards the camera is like this. Forehead towards the camera is like this. That's the difference. Okay. Tilt that this way. Yeah. Now get a little sneakier with it. Start to be a little bit, a little bit of a sneaky guy. Drop the shoulder. Hold that. There you go. There you go. Good. Always have something up your sleeve. Sometimes when people are in shape or if they're heavier, I like them to stand up and it brings some of the weight out of the body. But if they're like, if I get them forward a little bit when they're cut up or skinny people especially, I like them to almost run at the camera like this. So you get your shoulders behind them and it adds some weight to them. People that are heavy, you want to get them up and get that chin out and stuff like that. But he's right. He works out, so he's got good shoulders. But I want to show him a little bit. So I think you work out anyway. Was I correct? Hold that. There you go. Tilt the head this way. There you go. Good. Nicer guy. Think nice. You're always a nicer guy. I want you to go back to that. Peter, let me try this. What about one of these? Be really cocky. I want you to be a cocky prick. There you go. There you go. Go James Dean on me for 5 shots. The brain only occupies one thought at a time. You can't think 2 thoughts at once. So the person can't think about how messed up their mouth is if you're asking them what the score of the game was last night, if they're interested in that. It's got to pull their attention away from the mouth. It's got to be more important. Hold that. There you go. 5 shots. Go this way. 5 shots. Don't think. No thinking. 5 shots. Keep going. Move it. Look away. Come back with something different. That's it. Hold it. Go nose towards the camera because that's where your light is. Hold that. You see right here, I'm putting on a complete show. I'm acting like everything's hunky-dory and we're firing on all cylinders when in my brain, I'm going, how the heck am I going to get this guy to produce anything today? That's what's going on. And I'm concocting ways to do it. And that's completely what this shoot is all about, nothing else. Remember, you're going, hold that. You're going James Dean on me. Come on. Look away. Hold that. That's it. Come. There you go. Chin down. Hold that. Chin down a little bit. Hold that. Nice. Okay, now I want you to go Marilyn Monroe on me. All that. Chin down. All that. Nice. Tilt into it a little bit. There you go. Good. I feel when they're ready to come out from in front of the camera. So I stop shooting and I bring them out and I show them. And most of that, with actors, they're a little bit more in my game because I have a reputation. They know me. They know I'm doing what I'm doing. So they usually give me more. With corporate people, you got to know when they're done, they're done. And you got to pull them out of there. That might be my favorite shot. I think. I mean, okay, so this shot, let's talk about this shot. A little strange. It's a little off kilter. I like off kilter stuff. For a shot to go on my website, it's got to be a little bit weird. It can't just be generic. It can't be normal. It's got to have something that makes somebody think, and it's got to have mouth, eyes, and eyebrows interaction a lot of the time, not all the time. Sometimes you get a shot where somebody's doing nothing and looks completely blank, and there's something that you can't quite get a grasp on. That I love. So you never know. But this has, it's just a little bit off kilter, which I like that stuff. I want it to be strange. The acting headshots is a saturated market for these guys. So if you throw something out like that, tinkers with it a little bit from the norm, it's interesting. Not quite. That's nice. Come on. Keep that. I like that too. Love that.
Yeah.
So guys, let's say Colt comes in. I put him on my white background. I got my Hasselblad camera. I got my Kino flows, and I start shooting. I don't talk to him. I don't coach him through this. What kind of pictures do you think we're going to get? You think they're going to be up to my standards? No way. I mean, I'm directing to pull something out of him. If I'm not pulling anything out of him, I don't have a shot. I have 0 shot. I got nothing for a casting director to get excited about. Casting directors being excited and agents being excited promotes my business. I do not let blank shots go out of my studio. It's not about my Kino flows. You have to pull this out of your clients. Good. You've been coming in with the brows a lot. There's 2 ways to work with the brows. In is like more aggressive, and up's a little bit more sensitive. Be a sensitive guy for like 10 shots. Sensitive guy, a little more intense. So I like brows a lot. So when you get people in front of you and you start to fiddle with them, have them get their brows going for you. It is cool. You see the one on the screen? It's cool. It's cool. All right. Yeah. And then you can start to see the evolution of the shots that we're getting now that he's warmed up. Now he's not, do you feel the difference in the way you're thinking?
Oh,
yeah, good. Drop that shoulder, bend this way. Shut up. All that, chin down, all that. All that, all that, all that. No, yeah, I got an issue. Usually I tell people when I start swearing, that means you're doing really well. Hold that. Hold that, that's it, good. Try turning the body that way. Scoot back an inch. I've tried shooting different backgrounds. So I wanted a controlled environment, so I wanted to be in studio. And I wanted it to be a similar way that I shot everybody, because I don't want to if I give actors options, they're going to want to shoot everything. You know it. They'll want to shoot like, if I gave them the rainbow, they'd say, okay, shoot me with this outfit, with this color behind me. And for me, it's not about what they're wearing. It's not about the background. It's not about the lighting. It's not about the camera. It's about the vibe. That's what my work is. So if I started to do all that, it would impede my ability to stay focused on what I really want, which is these expressions out of people. So I only offered white because to me, it's about an actor's head being shot, and it's not about anything else. So I didn't need anything behind him. But now I've been doing it quite a long time. I think anything simple behind there is fine. I just wanted to stay consistent. So now they have two choices. I do white and gray. It's easy. Nose that way. Hold that. That's it. Hold that. Hold that. Chin down. There you go. Good. Hold that. Tilt the head this way. I want to see a delirious look out of you. Hold that. Don't think. I'm just kidding. The delirious, I'll say delirious just to get the laughter. Like, or to give me a look like, what? Here are some real ones that do work. You ready? Give me this. I want you to go debonair on me. Nice. You got it. Good. Nose that way. How about sophisticated? I want the laughter. Hold that. See, if the word gives you the laughter, I'll take that. I want you to get this word. And I want you to try it like 20 different ways. Not 20, 10. And I want you to laugh when you hear the word if you find it funny, or I want you to really I really want you to go for it. It's a little bit of a silly word, but it works if you hit it right. Okay, here we go. I want you to be suave. Oh, I like that. Oh, yeah. Look away and come back suave. The looking away and coming back is good because it mixes it up each time. That's it. Oh, yeah, suave for you is cool. That was a good word. That's it. This is a different guy that I needed. Hold that. Good. At this point, do you see how he's starting to let go? He just seems like he's finally opening up and giving real viable expressions that could possibly work. And the layering of words and getting words in there seem to be opening him up, and playing with him and making him do silly stuff. And then he's finally starting to believe that he's getting good shots and starting to let go. Yeah, hold that. There you go. There it is. Boom. Okay, so that's how you get to it. That's how I get to it. That's not how you get to it. That's how you'll find your way to get to it. My stuff is all shock value. I'll admit it. You'll see it, this whole DVD. It's shock value, to shock that person into doing something that's as if they're not in front of the camera. That's the way it works for me. It's not going to work that way for everybody else, but you'll get ideas of how you can be creative and you can go with it. And that's what I suggest for you. And you don't have to know what they are. You just have to get somebody in front of your camera every day and just take pictures of them. And then you'll start to, I'll admit this. You ready? I have a routine. If I didn't, I couldn't do the things that I do. It's just that I've done it so much that things pop into my head and I use them. You know, I have a lot of things that I haven't used yet that you won't see with him because I know I didn't need to go there because I already got him warmed up. So now I can do different things with him that I'll use that on the next person. Drop the shoulder down. There you go. Good. And then tilt it this way. There you go. Right there. Hold that. Chin down slightly. Slightly less perplexion. Hold that. Good. Tilt the head this way. Good. Nice. Right there. Hold that. Good. That's it. Drop the shoulder down a little bit more. Tilt the head a little more this way. Tilt into it a little bit more for that light. There you go. Hold that. Hold that. A lot of times I'm more concerned with the crop than what the frame looks like in terms of my lighting. Sometimes in these shots you'll see the lighting creep into the frame and you'll see the edge of the keynote flow. My retoucher will take it out afterwards. So I'm always more concerned with the crop And my framing and what can be retouched later doesn't matter to me. So I don't care about seeing my lights in the frames. So everybody that comes into me, for actors, this is for actors, everybody that comes in, I believe, needs everything from really nice, genuine, cranking smile that came out of left field from just awesome energy, especially if their smile's working and they can work commercially, to playing that dark, independent film role where they could be, you know, a homeless kid on the street. I want 5 complete badass shots and then we're done. All right? Cocky. Yeah, use the hands to get into it and get them out of frame for me so it's usable.
Wait.
But get the feeling.
Fucking badass.
Yeah, badass. Like overdo it. Don't care. Get it wrong. I want you to get it wrong. Allow yourself room to get this completely wrong.
Okay.
So wrong that I want to be like it's embarrassing how wrong it is. Hold that. That wasn't embarrassing. Hold that. Good. Tilt that. Hold that. Hold that. Fan-fucking-tastic. Fan-fucking-tastic. Awesome. I mean, now we're cooking with gas again. Good. Cooking with gas, what was it? Give me a couple more of those. I need to, we're heating up, we're like, hold that. We're firing on all cylinders. We're kicking it into high gear. That's another one. Good. Good job. Come on up. Good job, man. Really good job.
I like that.
No, right? Here you can see that I'm working with them and I've got them in a position that seems to be working, so I'll slowly move them around. I've got the neck out, turtling a little bit so you can see the strong jawline. I'm bringing the front shoulder down to accentuate it, and then I'm just fine-tuning his expressions as he goes. Things are starting to move the right direction. He's now taking direction. He's making subtle adjustments, and it's really starting to show in the pictures at this stage of the game. I don't like anybody watching me while I'm working. I don't like assistants or anybody like viewing the person that I'm shooting, my client, because I think it's gonna put, first of all, with me, it makes me wonder what they're thinking about what I'm saying to my client. You know, I don't like that, and I don't want them reacting to any energy that may be in the room other than mine. So I pretty much clear the room out until I've got somebody warmed up and comfortable, and then I can do other things with them. But most of the time, this is a one-on-one thing. Okay, so I just uploaded all the images we just took up to my proofing website for you, your proofing website for you. It's password protected. When you log in, it comes up like this. So there they are. When you click on them, they get bigger. So first shot, last shot. You can click through them like this, and then you can vote on them if you want on a scale of 1 to 5. If you hit cast vote, it'll put a vote on it.
Nice.
And then you can sort them by vote average or number of votes.
Yeah.
If you want to email this to people, you just fill this out and it'll send them an email. If people want to post comments, you fill this out and comments come up down here. And this is the website for the retoucher. Colorworksnyc.com is their website. They're fantastic. They do all my work. They're amazing with actors' headshots or headshots in general. So if you guys need any printing or retouching needs, colorworksnyc.com. They're awesome. This proofing site was made for me, but I've been working with Colorworks for years. So my website designer developed the same program, a similar program. It's basically the same for Colorworks, and it's free for photographers to use. So if you need a proofing website, use Colorworks for your retouching and printing needs, and you can go there and ask them to set you up with a photographer proofing site that you can put all your clients' work on, and then you can work with them for your retouching and printing needs as well. I don't give out high-res images ever to actors because couple of reasons. Quality control. I know there are so many ridiculous variables. If somebody takes a high-res image of mine, over-retouches it and sends it out with the whites of the eyes so white that they look like a robot, it's gonna kill me. So I don't want that being done. So I give it to Colorworks and make sure that all the retouching is done to my specs and then the printing too. So I've been asked, how much does the success of the photo depend on the model or actor or on the photographer. And my gut reaction is that it's a collaborative effort. The problem with that is that they hired you. So they're hiring you for a good shot. You can't rely on them for anything. They could be amazing in front of the camera and make your job very easy, but it's your job to get the shot. That's really the way I feel about it. I feel the responsibility's on me all the time. Agencies are looking for pictures that convey their client's personality. This is what they say. Now, an agent thinks that the client's personality is just going to jump into the camera on its own. No, it doesn't happen that way. The agent will call me and say, this is what I need out of this person, blah, 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 blah. The person will come in and be a zombie in front of the camera. I can't call the agent and say, hey, you got a zombie on your hands. You know, I'm really having a hard time with this. No, the agent expects the best out of me. It's my job to create that personality, whether the person's amazing in front of the camera or a zombie. And that's what the agents expect. They expect personality that they can get so that they can use these headshots to get their clients work. You're going to get a plethora of people that in front of your camera from all walks of life and all levels of attractiveness. I happen to believe, and I think this is a firm belief that I have, and I'm sure you're going to find it too, that everybody has beauty within them. Everybody has beauty within them. You have to bring it out and find out what it is. The main thing is that you want to build your craft so that you know these people. When I have somebody in front of my camera, I know they've never been photographed any better than what they're going to be in here, generally, unless they're a big-time model and they've shot with the caliber of photographer that I am. But if they're walking off the street and they've got snapshots as their best pictures, as a professional, you guys, we are the ones that have to create those images that blow away anything they ever had in a snapshot. So you're going to give them the tools that you learned in this DVD or that you already knew, and they're going to look better in their shots. First thing I start, let's go over a checklist of the things that I do with them to teach them how to look better in the camera. First and most important thing. Number one. First thing I tell them, how many times you heard it today? Forehead towards the camera. You're going to get people that are overweight. The first thing that they hate the most is this. In order to get rid of it, you go like this. I'm going to also give you another hint. If they're really overweight and the double chin's so prevalent that you can't get rid of it, you can diminish it by shooting a little bit down on them. Not too much, but you can go up a little bit. You can make sure, I want you to make sure they look like a turtle. Watch this. I want you to make sure cameras are two-dimensional. If I go like this, it's too much because I'm stressing. But if I go like this, I'm back and I get this, right? So if I go back to this, I'm pretty good, but I could probably bring it out a little bit and you wouldn't notice if you didn't know I was doing it already. If I go here, chances are if you hadn't seen me do that and it was only one shot you were seeing, you wouldn't know that my neck is forward of my shoulders as much as it is, right? If somebody's overweight, you want to do that. You want to get the shoulders, you want to get the chin out so that they strengthen their jawline. It's the very first thing that I teach each individual that comes into the studio. So here it is. Turtle the neck out. Whatever word you need to use. But I've had people physically not be able to do this. I'll tell them, I'll walk up to them, I'll do this. Go like this. And they go like, I'm like, no, just go like that. You can't do that. And I'm like, what are you doing? Just do, I'm doing it. Do this. Show me what you got. And they can't do it. You're going to have a hard time with that, but on occasion. But most people will be able to do it. And then they'll get out like this and you'll be like, okay, that's a little bit too far. Can you relax a little bit? You just get it back to here. And now you got the jawline, but they're not like this, which normal sitting position for a human being. Right here. How's that? How's that? Cut my jawline up a little bit? You guys need to know that. You need to use that on a daily basis. Number one thing that I teach everybody. Number one thing, forehead towards the camera. Chin down, chin out, gets the jawline, forehead towards the camera. All right? Now we're going to go on to number two. Number two, the biggest thing you can change on the face, you guys should know this. As photographers, from what we've learned today, there's three things you can change on your face. Mouth, eyes, eyebrows. Number two is mouth. It's the most active thing on your face. It's the thing you can move the most. There's 53 muscles in the face that all control the mouth, basically. So the mouth is where you're going to get the weirdest things happening. And that's what you're going to have to learn to control. Always, if people start smiling off the bat and they give you this, I'm telling you, it's gonna look like that, and you're not gonna be happy with it. Tell people small smiles. They're either gonna do this, or they're gonna do this. And we know by now my misery comment works really well. So definitely, you can use that, figure it out for your own, figure out stuff like that works for your own, but also subtle smiles. So tell them to go from here to here. How much did I move my mouth? Not a whole hell of a lot. So that's the second most important thing. First thing, forehead out. Second thing, get that mouth just barely smiling for confidence. So now you've got the confidence in the mouth, or no, the approach for approachability. So now you've got the approachability in the mouth. When you're joking with them later and you get the teeth out and they have fun and they see a good shot and they start laughing later, that's great. But never let people just smile off the bat, because it's always fake. It's always, and it looks cheesy. You got to make them smile, get them smiling, but small smiles first. And with smiles, you're going to get all sorts of different mouths. Humans have, this is the amazing thing about humans and what I crave about my work and I love, is that you have a different face in front of you every day. Some people, and I'm going to tell you this is going to sound strange, some people can't close their mouth. Physically, genetically, cannot close their mouth without mouth tension. The mouth starts to look like this. Their teeth are too big, their jaw's too far out, they look like this. If you tell them to do a closed mouth, tiny smile, they're like, it's not going to work. You have to tell them that they need air in between their lips. You have to acknowledge this. And I get this, mouths that can't close once a month, twice a month maybe. Mouths that need to be open twice a month, I'd say. So you leave air in between the lips, and then you smile. You leave this air, so there's no, otherwise they're pursing lips. The minute that you see somebody pursing lips, you go, hey, you know what? Drop your mouth open a little bit just so that you can breathe through it. Blow air through it. Have them blow the air through it. So there's the space. Because the minute they do this, it goes, that's not normal. That's just weird. That's just very strange. This is stuff that kicks into my brain as I'm shooting them and I see it, and then you've got to figure out a way to subtly address it without turning them off or losing them or making them feel too self-conscious about it, because then you'll lose the eyes. They'll go like this, and their eyes will be gone. So you've got to address this. But number 2, mouth. Closed mouth, tiny smile for most. Sometimes you got to let it drop open for people who can't physically close their mouth. Hope that helps, guys. Thanks a lot. Third thing. Let's go third thing. You guys know this. I know that I have drilled this into every client that I have. I know that if you now take what you've learned from this DVD and go look online and research headshot photographers, you will see a million pictures where people look like this. I do not talk to you like this. This is very strange for me to be talking like this. It's very weird. This is the third most important thing that I work on. Everybody in front of cameras goes like this because we are human, and deer in the headlights is not a human reaction. It's a fear-based reaction based on fear or uncertainty. They don't even have to be scared in front of the camera. They just have to be uncertain as to what to do, and they'll go like this. So you're going to get people going like this, and then they're going to look, and then their mouth's going to be mean, and they're going to be like, and then you're going to have to make them smile. So you're going to get the little smile, but you're going to get the little smile, and then they're still going to be like this. And then you're going to get them to squint and then do the little smile. And then they're going to look like that. And then you're going to get them. And then they're going to flip out. And then it's going to be the best shot of your life. And then you're golden. And those are the 3 things that I really want you to drill home from this DVD. 3 things that you need to know. Top 3 things for me in a headshot. Forehead towards the camera to get the chin out and down. Mouth approachable, closed, tiny, tiny little smile. And then I want you to convey squinting or narrowing of the eyes. Now, we've already talked about it. It's not really squinting. It's lower lids up. So it's going from here, which most people will look in your camera like this because as humans, we're uncertain and we look in the camera like this. So it's lower lids to there. It's not this. So you got to play with that, okay? Those are the 3 things. Forehead out, tiny smile, tiny squint, tiny squint. For me, my headshots are down. I know what I'm gonna shoot on a daily basis, technically, how I'm gonna shoot it. I know my aperture, I know my shutter speed, I know my lighting. I know little things will change and I'll fiddle with it a little bit, but it really becomes my interaction with that person. And I tell them point blank, I said, I'm 90% therapist today. I am 10% photographer, 90% therapist. Should say Dr. Peter Hurley on the door. Guys, making people feel comfortable is my game. And you're gonna be trying to figure out how to do it. And I say to myself, all right, I've got this routine that I do to get people comfortable. What's the next new thing? What's the next new thing for me? I've been doing this for years. What's the next new thing? And over the years, I used to write down what I did, and now I do different things than I did years ago. I use that word game. I like that. I think the main thing that every photographer uses and has to use is find a common thread. Find a common thread. Just find out what you can talk about with these people. Make a connection with them. You don't have to go over the top crazy. Just find out, talk to them like a normal human being and figure out, what you can talk to them about to make them chill out a little bit. Find something in common and then talk about it. And then you can always go back to that later in the shoot. If you want to use some of the techniques that you've learned in this DVD, use them, but then you go back to the common thread, go back to the common thread, go back to the common thread. You can always figure something out like that to get these people going. And you're going to have different clients that give you different things all the time. You're going to have somebody that's great, and you're going to have somebody that's tough, and you're going to have to do somersaults in front of one, and you're just going to have to press the button in front of another one because they're so amazing. So how do I get my clients to get the looks that they need? I already preconceive the looks that somebody needs, basically, but then I try and match it to the person's personality. So I'm not trying to pull the person from left field into a look that might be too much of a stretch for them, but I generally know, and this is the basis of all my work, confidence with approachability. If they look confident and they're approachable, it's the basis of where I want to start, especially if it's a non-actor. Non-actors, that's all I go for. I want them to look like they have their shit together and they're approachable. That's it. Bottom line, done. That should be the basis of your work. So I have a lot of people that I call smilers. You get them in front of a camera and they can't stop laughing. You know you can get a good smile out of them. You crack a joke, they smile. You say hello, they smile. They don't know how to not smile in front of a camera. Cameras do this to people. Sometimes you get smilers. I know for an actor, I need to get that person serious. I'm not going to ever concentrate on smiling. I actually have to dumb down my session and not be so silly and retarded and outlandish and get those people to get serious in order to get good shots, because I can make them smile in a millisecond. So you're going to have people like that. You're going to have people that get so serious that they look miserable the entire shoot, and you're going to have to figure out, I don't care what you have to do. You can do the boogie woogie woogie in front of the camera to get them to smile. I don't care what it is. You have to figure it out. That's your job as the photographer, to figure out what it is to get that person to laugh. And if you ask them to smile, you'll know it looks fake from a mile away. So figure it out. I shoot this camera, but I love seeing the images big. It's really one of the most important things in part of my workflow. So I have a 27-inch iMac that I shoot the images into. I'm tethered, so they come in instantly. If you can't be tethered, it doesn't really matter. I mean, I don't show the screen to my clients as they're coming in because that would be really distracting. So I like it tethered because I can go afterwards, I can go and sit down and go through each one with them rather quickly. If you want to do this to review your images with your client rather than on the screen on the back of the camera, even that screen to me is too small to review images. So a screen on a DSLR is probably the same or smaller than that, a little smaller than that, and I don't think it's worth showing them. Really, it's just not going to give them all the detail they need to see in order to make informed decisions and feel really good about their pictures. So let's say you shoot untethered. You can come in and somehow shoot to different cards or something and download one card or have an assistant or a friend or your makeup artist or whatever, get the other shots in so that after you finish shooting the next card or the next look, you can go into the computer and start looking at them if you're not tethered. If you're tethered, go directly to your computer, start showing those images. Here's the key, only show the images once you think you have some good ones in there. I don't care if it took you 1,000 shots. If you have 10 good ones, that's fine. Just tell them you're gonna delete 990 of them and 10 are good, you know? And sometimes, you really don't want to, you want to build confidence in your client. You don't want to, you know, have the shoot go another direction energy-wise. So if you don't feel you're confident, you have really good shots in there, do not show them until you know you have some good ones. Once you have some good ones, I mean, I'll shoot 100 shots to keep 10 and I'll tell them that. And in the end, we'll end up with like 10 to 20 or something, and I'll delete the other 10 to keep the 10 that I wanted in the first place. If, you know, that I don't delete good shots. If I have 20, I have 20. But I shoot in my mind to capture 10 shots, and I only do it once the people, I feel like they're going my way. I know in my brain, it's like a clicker's going off. That was a good one. Oh, that was pretty good. Okay, no, that was 10 in a row just were terrible. Person was flat. Oh, that was a good one. Okay, I think I got 10 now. Come on, bring her out. Let's take a look. I use a Hasselblad for my work. When I'm shooting, I shoot this at a aperture of 6.3. It goes at 1/3 stop increments, so I can go to 6.3 at a 60th of a second. So my depth of field is really shallow. On an equivalent DSLR, which most of you guys are probably shooting, I would say that's around an 85 millimeter lens at 1.2, 1.4, something like that, really open. And I focus on whichever eye is closest to me. If somebody's turned straight on, I'm focusing on either eye. I know that. But the minute that they turn, I'm focusing on the front eye. So I want the back eye to fade out of focus. Sometimes you really have to catch it though. Sometimes I'll focus on this eye just because they move quickly, and I'll get the front eye out of focus, and that's, for my eye, that doesn't work for me. I don't like those shots. I like the first thing the camera hits to be in focus, which basically, and the eye is the focal point. So right there, if I'm turned and then this way, obviously the first thing that you hit would be the front of the nose. You want that in focus, you want the eyes. I manual focus this camera. I'm on a tripod, and I found that I can focus. I'm so precise with the focusing on manual that I focus, set up my shoot, and set up my shot and press the trigger really, really quickly in order to get the shots that I get. You can experiment with autofocus on your DSLRs and try and see if they'll work, if they'll catch the eyes, depending on your depth of field. If your depth of field's really small, you might want to try manual focus.